My grandmother's kitchen was small, just enough daylight coming through the window above the sink. It looked out onto a concrete courtyard with an old outside toilet and some blue-doored sheds. I remember if I turn to my right, I can see a blue door with embossed glass, and I remember in the summertime my grandmother would hang those coloured stripped blinds that stop flies going into your kitchen. And to the right of me, again, there was a small pantry, a cold small pantry where she kept her pots and pans. The floor was tiled with a small mat near the back door, and the cupboards had that fake style wood laminate effect that you'd find in every 70s kitchen. And that's where I used to do my hair every morning. I'd grab a small comb, put a side parting in my hair with that really horrible wet look gel that you would get, and I would always have a cowlick on the crown of my head at the back, and I could never get it to sit down, and I remember it driving me mad, and I would stand there combing and just hoping that it would stick down, and it never did. The house itself was an old council house, and the town where we lived was an old mining town in the East Midlands in the UK, and it was my grandmother's house. My mum was the youngest of a lot of siblings, and I was her youngest child, and I was the youngest grandchild, and so I became the apple of my grandma's eye. She doted on me, and she loved me very deeply. I remember her being this beautiful working class woman, tall and strong, with tight white curls and glasses, always wearing her pinny, and there was always the smell of soap and Sunday dinners in the air. And we lived together, alone. She was in her 70s, I was a kid, and we kept each other company. There wasn't much money. Batteries for my hand-me-down tape deck were a luxury, but there was love, so much love. I remember having this 80s mixtape, which also had Michael Jackson's Bad on it, and I remember there was a particular song by a band called Five Star called System Addict that I was addicted to. I would just loop it constantly, or rewind and play it again, and rewind and play it again. It's probably why my batteries kept running out. But I would also listen to things like Alexandra O'Neill, and If You Were Here Tonight, or Mark Ecklord's I Need Your Lovin'. Very nostalgic tones in those songs, and they moved me. I mean, they're so cheesy, but at that time there was something in that music that I couldn't express the way it made me feel. I would sit on the kitchen floor, turn the volume up, and I would just disappear. The music did something to me, even as a child. It felt like a wisdom that I couldn't explain, like a kind of love that I didn't yet understand. But it also quietened something inside me. Now, back then, I didn't know what ADHD or autism was. I was just a kid. But I just remember, and I knew that there were voices, constant thoughts, noise in my head, distractions, and those voices weren't always kind. They were like bullies, relentless, cruel, making my heart race and my chest tighten, and I didn't know why. But when the music played, the noise stopped. It was like casting a spell, and the world around me changed. The space where I sat turned into a beautiful playground of light, where it was safe and it was quiet, and I could finally just breathe. It gave me space to feel, to imagine, and to just be. Sometimes I would close my eyes and see colours, flashes of light, and feelings that I didn't have. I was full of love, full of excitement, but I was also full of sadness too. That deep, ineffable ache, I still feel that now. That same pit of love and despair that I've carried all my life. You see, music made me feel older than I was, like an old soul trapped in a small body. And looking back, I think that was self-regulation, my way of finding balance in a noisy world. Maybe that's why I've spent my whole life chasing that same feeling. Because in the noise of life, music is still the one place where everything inside me makes sense.